So before I start this movie review, I want to give a shout out to IMDb, where I get all my information and fun facts from.
Me.
Pardon?
Me. My choice is me.
Billy, you'd be the laughing stock of baseball.
Not if we win.
Come on, son, be serious.
I am serious. You'd help me, wouldn't you, Mac?
Well, Billy, it's not that easy. There's a lot to this game. A lot. It's all situations. Situations and tendencies. And the more you've seen, the more you know what to do.
What's up, everyone? Movie Mania Nick here with another baseball movie. This time, it's called Little Big League from 1994. It starred Luke Edwards, Timothy Busfield, John Ashton, Ashley Crowe, Jonathan Silverman, and Jason Robards. And the director was Andrew Scheinman. So this movie is basically about a young boy is bequeathed the ownership of a professional baseball team. All right, guys, so to tell you the truth, I do remember seeing this movie years ago, and I mean years ago. There's certain parts of the movie I do remember watching. I wouldn't know if it's one of my favorite ones, but it was I think at the time when I saw it, it was a good film. But I would probably say now, it's probably a decent movie to see. From what I remember, I think it was a good film. I mean, I was a kid at the time. I was like, 14 when this came out. The storyline was pretty decent. I mean, like I said, the grandfather, he left it in his will that his grandson would be the new owner of the baseball team. And that team was the Minnesota Twins. But the problem was his grandson was a teenager. I mean, he was what, 13 years old, 12, somewhere around that age. So he couldn't really handle the responsibility. I mean, it was nice, to watch him get, own a team and be part of that team and own it. But there's a lot of responsibility of owning a Major League Baseball team, and he was just not ready for it. Let's just say that. And I think I remember that he was going to school too. But the problem was when he would go to school, the popularity of it was, he's like, oh my God, this kid owns the team and this and that. And he couldn't handle it, basically, the grandson. So the majority of what happened was he was part owner or co-owner, I think, near the end of it. But I think one of the people that played on the team, and he was up there in age, so he was a veteran, he became the co-owner of the Major League Baseball team until he was old enough to actually own the team, to have responsibilities to own the team. And there's a whole bunch of, there's other stories in it too, and there's kind of a love story between his mother, and there's a lot of story of what I remember. But at the time, it was a decent film. It's one of those like 1990 kid-friendly movies. I mean, there was some comedy in it, but not a lot. But I would say this is more of a serious comedy movie, if that makes any sense. I mean, like I said before in the beginning, this is not on my high top 10 or top 5 list to go see. It's more toward the bottom. But it is a good movie. It is a decent movie to see, especially if you're a teenager, especially from like me, a kid from the 90s. All those baseball movies were all coming out at the same time. But it is a decent movie to see. Would I recommend to watch it? Of course, I would recommend to watch it, especially if you're a Minnesota Twins fan or just a baseball fan in general. I do recommend to see this film. Of course, it is probably out there on demand, Netflix, Hulu, whatever else is out there now. And now it's time for fun facts. John Gordon, who played broadcaster Wally Holland, was the real-life voice of the Minnesota Twins until he announced his retirement after the 2011 season. This was Andrew Scheinman's only work as a film director. The character Thomas Haywood was depicted as being very similar to Carl Pohlad, the real-life owner of the Minnesota Twins at the time of the film. At the time, the Metrodome Stadium was shared by the Twins and the Vikings and Gophers football teams. The football yard lines can be seen in the outfield. And finally, the scene that takes place in the amusement park takes place at Valley Fair in Shakopee, Minnesota. And that's it, guys. That is my movie review for Little Big League from 1994. I hope you enjoyed that. As always, share, smash that like button, support, hit that notification bell, notify my next video or vlog will be up. And also catch me on Instagram under the same name, Movie Mania Nick. And remember, be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes!